திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும் பரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய் தேடும் கயமா முகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். பூழியர்கோன் பொழித்த போலியர்கோன் கடல் போற்றி ஆழிமிசை கல்மிதப்பில் அணைந்த பிரான் அடி போற்றி வாழி திருநாவலூர் வன்தொண்டர் பதம் போற்றி ஊழிமலி திருவாத ஊர திருத்தாள் போற்றி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி என் நாட்டவர்க்கு இறைவா போற்றி ஏகம்பத்துரையந்தாய் போற்றி பாகம் மண்ணூர் ஆனாய் போற்றி பராய்த்துறை மேவிய பரணே போற்றி சிராப்பள்ளி மேவிய சிவனே போற்றி அண்ணாமலையமண்ணா போற்றி கண்ணாரமுத கடலே போற்றி காவாய் கனகத்திரளே போற்றி கைலை மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். திருச்சிற்றம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற பெருங்கருணையினாலே ஞானத்திரள் சார்பாக நம்முடைய அன்பிற்குரிய கத்தார் தம்பதியினர் சரவண தம்பதியினர் அவருடைய பெயராதரவோடு ஆங்கிலத்திலே த ஹோலி deities ஆஃப் சைவம் என்கிற தலைப்பிலே சாப்டர் 3 த லார்ட் சிவா என்கிற தலைப்பிலே சில மூர்த்தங்கள் பற்றி செய்திகளை சிந்திப்பதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டியிருக்கிறது. In the last sessions, we have been discussing about the deities of Lord Vinayaka and Lord Muruga. People may wonder, if there is only one God, why we must have so many deities and for so many gods? We should not think that either Lord Ganesha or Lord Subramanya are different from the Lord Shiva. Saivam has the best and strongest belief that there is only one God. Ondre Padi. God is only one. Ekam Brahmam. Veda Vakyam. Of course, the policy or the concept that we have only one God who is uncomparable, unequal. You put whatever words you want about the uniqueness. His power, His mercy, His lordship, His ruling. You take everything. He is the only one. And no other than Lord Shiva, there exists another God. So, when we have that strongest belief that we have only one God, but then what is the point in having Lord Ganesha, Lord Subramanya, and again Lord Shiva, and moreover Goddess Shakti? Is it not? Okay. Now, we have been explaining the deities with different forms or only to the maturity level of the souls which are praying or nearing the Almighty for shelter, security, or for wealth or health, anything. The souls, if they start believing that there is one supremacy, there is a protector, there is a safeguarder, to safeguard them from the sufferings, from the miseries, then naturally the souls will go over to the Almighty or the God for shelter, security, and for their for all their wellness. The souls are different, their maturity levels are different. That is why the forms of the single God or the only God or the unique God are different. The same problem may be solved in different ways, but the answer will be only one. In mathematics, the right answer will be only one. Wrong answers will be in multiple. Any problem will have only one right answer. Like that, the whole universe will have only one God. And that God may be explained in different ways for acceptance or for easiness or for understanding in many ways. So, the Almighty, it's the might, its power. It is known as the Pranava, the power of Pranava for the total function of the world or even for the soul. Pranava is nothing but the power which forms the base for functioning of either the universe or the soul in the body. To understand, to clearly tap the points is only known as the Prasada Yogam in Yogam. The Pranava that can be found in the total body at 6 points or 12 points or 9 points. In Dvadasa Kala Prasadam, at 12 points, the power of Pranava is felt. As a matter of fact, if you go up from the bottom point, it gets accumulated. At the 12th point, the total power gets accumulated and the soul is with the full power of Pranava. Then only it is able to reach the God above the Nadam, Nadadidam. How it gains the momentum, how it gains the power from the bottommost point known as Mooladharam. It goes from Mooladharam or Undi. It goes from Undi. Start from Agaram and reaches Unmani. Starting from Agaram to Unmani, there are 16 levels, 12 levels. 16 levels also Sodasa Kala Prasadam. 16 levels. The power is, in mathematics, the X graph, you will have 10 sections, 10 points or 10 graduations. You can say the first graduation as the 1, and the next one is 2, 3, 4 likewise. Or you can have the first one has 10, second one is 20, third one is 30, 40, 50, likewise you can have the graduations. Again, you can have the first one as 100, 200, 300, likewise, isn't it? It depends on how you scale it. But the total length will be be the same, doesn't be changed. Likewise, the total power is also the same, Pranava power. Either it may be divided into 12 or 16. Between 12 and 16, Up to Brahmarandhanam, no change. Only from Brahmarandhanam to Dvadasa Kala, Dvadasa Prasad, Dvasantam, Dvadasantam. Why it is called Dvadasantam? Dvadasa Andam. That is called Dvadasantam. Dvadasa means 12, Andam above. So that 12 is divided into 16, either 12 or 16. It is only the pranava is divided into 12 parts or 16 parts. In any way, either you go from 1 to 16, gain the total power of pranava, and with that power reach the Sirpara Vyomam, the Paraveli. So likewise, the pranava power, the total power, that is the main functionary power for the world, or for the functionary power for the body. That is a basic power available for the function of either the universe or the world, or by the body. Universe functions in common for all the souls. The functioning of the soul is individual. For every individual, the function, one will be sleeping, another will be working, another will be running, another will be drinking, another. The souls are doing different actions. For all those actions, they need energy, power. Don't think that just because you have the food that you have the power. If you have a man sick, he doesn't have power to run, go and feed him with a good food. Do you think that he will be able to run or jump? No. Just by giving the food, you can't expect him to be powerful. Of course, that food is to be converted by that power. So the basic power, the pranava, it is in two forms. One form is Vinayaka, another form is Lord Subramanya. That's all. So it is a symbolic representation of the pranava power. As a matter of fact, pranava is available either in sound or light. The sound nadam form is Vinayaka, light form is Subramanya. Manyam means light. Okay, so we represent Lord Shiva either by Vigneshwara or by Subramanya, but we represent only Lord Shiva. Only Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is not different from Lord Ganesha or Lord Subramanya. If you are favorite about Lord Ganesha, pray him. He is Lord Shiva. If you go to Pillayarpatti, Oduvar will chant only Devaram and Tiruvasakam for Pillayar. What do you think that Oduvar will recite for all the Kala Pujas in Pillayarpatti? Only this, only Devaram, because he is nobody than our Lord Shiva. If you go to Tiruchendur, Oduvar will sing only Devaram Tiruvacham in the Kala Puja. It clearly indicates that our answers are very clear about this, that if you go to Tirukadavur, Oduvar will sing only the Devaram Tiruvachakam for Ambal. I have seen, I have witnessed. So people are very clear about this, that Lord Shiva, he himself has some forms, of course. Those are called Maheswara Murtangal. Lord Shiva, when he comes down, when he descends from a height where the souls cannot think of reaching him, souls never can reach them. Only Sendadayada Tirudayane, only he can come and contact and get the souls by his side. Otherwise, souls cannot reach him at all. What do you think that we have so many tattvas, instruments and tools? When we are fit enough, when we get maturity, he only removes the tattvas. We are not able to remove them. We cannot remove them. He only comes and throws away the tattvas. No, these are not required for him. He has got maturity. Is it not? See, if somebody is in a hospital, some respiration system is problematic, and they are inserting so many tubes and arranged artificial respiration. If the patient feels comfortable, do you think that patient will himself come out of all these fittings? No, not at all. Doctor has to decide. When he thinks that he is all right, then he will take away all the tubes, other fittings, everything. Likewise, God will also take away all the tattvas. We are very proud of our body, but as a matter of fact, these are all fittings given in hospital. They may be compared to fixtures or medical apparatus. Is it not? Anyway, so Lord Shiva assumes, or Lord Shiva takes different forms. For example, he appears before Jnanasambandha. He gives darshan. Jnanasambandha, the 3.5 years old child, it wonders, it actually wonders, and it is being given the jnanam to describe him. The jnanam was awarded by the Lord Shiva. Goddess Shakti actually fed Jnanasambandha with jnana milk of jnanam, and he is able to have darshan, and also he is able to sing about him. He describes. Do you think that he will lie? No. What is the need for that? 3.5 years old child. It gives out the most powerful sonnet describing the form of Lord Shiva. Todudaya sevigan vidayeri ortuvan madisudi kadudaya சுடலை பொடி பூசி என் உள்ளம் கவர் கள்வன் ஏடுடைய மலரான் முனைநாள் பணிந்தேத்த அருள் செய்த பீடுடைய பிரமாபுரம் ஏவிய பெம்மான் இவனன்றே. See, he describes the darshan because the father, Shobhada Irdiyar, got annoyed when he saw the milk in his mouth. He was annoyed. Who dared to feed my child? And he was very angry at Jnanasambandar, the child. He was scowling at him. Who gave you the milk? How can you drink it? How can you take it? Have we not trained you not to take from anything from strangers? How can you take anything from strangers, especially edible things? We should not accept anything from strangers. Is it not the practice that we are cultivating? He was actually scowling and scolding his child, Jnanasambandar. At that time, Jnanasambandar showed Lord Siva with goddess Periyanayahi. They were gorgeously sitting on the bull. And he was overjoyed. With overjoy, he is explaining who gave him the milk, not in one sentence, not in two sentences, in 10 to 11 songs. 10 to 11 hymns, he was able to describe. In the first song itself, he describes what are all the things he was able to see. When he saw him, the first thing attracted the child is the earring he was wearing on his left ear. Todudaiya earring on the left ear. Todudaiya Sevigan. He is saying that the left ear was with earring. Todudaiya Sevigan Vidayeri. Rishabham. He was adorning on a Rishabham. He was sitting on the Rishabham, the bull. Todudaiya Seviyan Vidai. Vidai means the bull. Vidayeri Ortuvan Madisudi. The crescent on his pith. He was able to see the things and he was able to describe his father who gave him the Jnanapal, the milk of Jnanam. He was saying, Todudaiya Seviyan Ur, Todudaiya Seviyan Vidayeri, Or Tu Ven Madi. The crescent was powerful, bright, and very bright, and also very pure. Unless otherwise it is pure, how can it go and surrender to Lord Siva? Lord Siva also took it and he had actually put it on his head, on the pith, the long pith. Todudaiya Seviyan Vidayeri Ortuvan Madisudi Kadudaiya Sudalai Podi Pusi. He was wearing all over his body the holy ash. The holy ash is also white. The crescent is also white. The bull is also white. The earring is also white. Everything is white. தோடுடைக்க செவியன் விடைகேறி ஓதுவன் மதிசூடி காடுடைக்க சுடலை பொடி பூசி என் உள்ளம் கவர்கள்வன். He has filled my thoughts. He was in my thoughts. No other thought is spared to think about anything else in this world. He was everywhere in my thoughts. En ullam, Gnanasambandha Peruman says, the child says that the Lord Shiva is a thief. Thief means, why he calls him thief? Because thief comes without the knowledge of the owner and takes away, steals away the things owned by the owner. Is it not? Likewise, God, the Lord Shiva came without the knowledge, without any prior information or summoning. He suddenly just appeared, offered the milk of jnanam, milk of wisdom. Is it not? And had taken away all the belongings. What we may call the belongings? How do we call them? Our thoughts. The feel that we are independent, that feel is taken away. See, soul thinks that it is independent. That independence thought, spirit has been taken away by him. He now fully understands that he is under the shelter of Lord Shiva. He is the one who has brought him to this world. He understood everything. See, if we feel independent, then we are doing a mistake. We are never independent. We are always dependent. We can never feel secure. We are always insecure. That is why our ancestors are asking us, go and surrender to the Lord Shiva. Because you are dependent, insecure, shelterless. The best place for surrendering is the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. So, in this form, he made darshan of Lord Shiva along with the goddess Uma. That's how he explains. Because earring usually is the ladies will wear. Only the ladies will wear their earring. Nowadays, gents are also wearing, but the thodu, the word indicates that it is the ornament for the ladies, not for the gents. For the gents, it should be mentioned as kurai. Thodu means it belongs to the ladies. Kurai means it belongs to the gents. That is why in the right ear he will be wearing kurai, whereas on the left hand side he will be wearing thodu. Why we say like that means he is always having, he has given the left section, idabhagam, he has offered the left section to Goddess Shakti to be there every time, all the time. So, idabhagam, vamabhagam, that has been segregated or allocated or earmarked, whatever you call anything you want. Lord Shiva has given the left hand side for Goddess Shakti. So whenever he wants to bless the devotees, when he wants to bless the devotees, Adiyar, he will come along with the Arut Shakti. He is called Arut Shakti. The Arut Shakti is inseparable from Lord Shiva. When you say Lord Shiva, you are also saying Goddess Shakti. When you say the sun, you can never think of sun without its rays. They are inseparable. When you talk about fire, you can never deny its heat. Is it not? The fire and its property, heat, are inseparable. Likewise, God Shiva, Lord Shiva, is inseparable from his bliss, Goddess Shakti. So when we want to talk about his bliss, we are talking about Shakti. That is why here our Jnanasambandha, the child witnessed Lord Shiva on a bull with his spouse giving darshan to him. This was the picture, or this was the posture, or this was the detail, this was the pose that has been explained by Sambandhar to his father Sivapati earlier, because he asked him, who came and gave the milk, how can you accept it? Jnanasambandhar says, when it is Lord Shiva, who can deny it? He only gave, he only came, he only awarded. He is the only person who is giving. We are the only souls who are receiving. We always receive, we don't give anything. We are always at the receiving end. He is always at the delivery end. Let it be either the tattvas or bhogams in prapancham or his grace, everything he only gives. He never gets anything from us. People wrongly think that God is going to get something out of us. Nothing is going to receive from us, and we are not competent enough to give him anything that he wants. He may get something if he wants. What he wants nothing from us. He is only giving. He never gives anything. So whenever you go him, I want to give you something, Lord Shiva will say, I have everything. If you want to give anything, you give it to my devotees. There are a lot of my devotees who need them. If you go and feed them, it is as if you have given to me, because I am in them. If you just give them food, they will consume. It is as if I have consumed the food. I have tasted the food. I have taken the food. If you give them garments, if you give them dress, if you give them garments, it is as if I have been given the garments. Yes, I am in them. Whatever you give, if you want to give anything to me, don't give it to me directly, give it to my devotees. Because I don't want anything from you. Because I know you will give a pinch of salt and you will trump the whole world about it. You will boast yourself. People may do something for the temple and they will make a posting themselves everywhere they go. I have given this to the temple, I have given this, that to the temple. Like that they will be trumpeting. Anyway, so why I am telling you about this Ammayappar. This pose is called Ammayappar. In important functions, he will appear only as Ammayappar. For example, when he comes on procession during festivals, he will come only as Ammayappar. That is the usual way of his appearance. He will appear, he will come as it is called as Ula. He will go around the city with his devotees only in the form Ammayappar form. Inseparable spouse, she will be accompanying. He will be accompanying. You can see that. So this Ammayappar posture was witnessed with delight by our Jnana Sambandha Perumal. Likewise, Sundarar has also witnessed this Ammayappar posture. Sundarar has also witnessed this Ammayappar posture. So in the court at Tirunelveli, Nallur, the juries gave the verdict that he should serve and he is the slave of that old man who filed the suit, the court. They gave the verdict like that because he filed a complaint with the juries in Tirunelveli, Nallur, stating that Sundaran, who was going to get married, is a slave for him, and it was agreed by his ancestors that the people coming in the hereditary way or in the parambarai, they should serve only Lord Siva. So his grandfather have executed a document that he and who are all coming in his coming as heads, they will be serving the Lord Siva. They will be their slaves. They will be his slaves. That was the document executed by Sadayanar. So seeing the document's validity, its genuinity, the juries gave the verdict that the Nambi Arurar was the slave of Lord Siva. Without knowing he is Lord Siva, they said, you are the slave for this old man. The old man is nobody than our Lord Siva. So because of that verdict, our Nambi Arurar, the Sundarar's name is Nambi Arurar. Nambi Arurar he was compelled to follow that old man. He entered the temple in Tirunelveli, Nallur and disappeared. And Nambi Arurar was shouting, where did you go? Why you entered the temple? Likewise, so many questions he was asking. And at that time, Lord Siva with his spouse appeared in this Ammayappar kolam on the bull. The moment he saw the darshan, he was able to realize who he is actually, where he came from, all those details he was able to remember and recollect. So he was shedding tears and crying, and Lord Siva asked him to sing about him in Tamil. In Tamil, the Tamil verses are the archani for him. He told him, Tamil verses are the archani for me. So go on, do some verses in Tamil verses, he said. And also the starting word he also uttered as Pitta. So Nambi Arurar started singing, Pitta Pirai Sudi Perumane Arulala, Pitta Pirai Sudi Perumane Arulala, Yattan Maravade Ninaikkindren Manathunai Vaittai Pennai Tenbal Venni Nallur Arulthurayul Atta உனக்காளாய் இனி அல்லேன் எனலாமே. பித்தா பிறைசூடி. So Ammayapar Kolam, the thing he was attracted is that a crescent that appeared in his pith. Pitta Pirai Permane Arulala. So the appearance or darshan, Lord Shiva was giving to his devotees, most of them, in Myanmar also, if you take for example, the darshan will be the final stage in Ammayapar Kolam. Ammayapar Kolam is a very famous or very popular type of form for Lord Shiva. Even in Pradosha Kalam, he will come round the temple only on the bull, only in Ammayapar Kolam. The Ammayapar Kolam is a very popular and very famous and very also nice form of darshan. People will be fond of having darshan as Ammayapar. In Ammayapar, usually he will be with 4 hands. He will be with 4 hands. One hand he will be having as blessing style. One hand, that is the right hand, it will be, the palm will be seen by us in the blessing style. The blessing style. The left hand side, that is the pair of this hand, that hand will be pointing down, the palm will be pointing down to catch the feet, to catch hold of the feet, to surrender at the feet, to come near by the feet. Why you stand there? Why you stand there and blink? Come on, come here. That is the indication. Come near. Why do you stand there and blink at me? Why do you stand there and hesitate? You are hesitating to come near. Come on, come near. It is the indication. The corresponding left side, left palm pointing down. So these 2 hands. Another 2 hands, the next pair, right side will be holding the Madu. Madu is the weapon he will be holding. Madu will be the weapon he will be holding. On the left side, he will be holding deer. So this will be the usual type 1. He will be appearing in the sitting posture. Both feet will be seen. Both feet will be visible. Both feet will be visible. And if you just see his head, you can visualize the crescent and also the Ganga. Ahaya Gangai, Vanadi. She is called Van Nadi. Van Nadi is Ahaya Gangai. So you can see that Van Nadi, and by his left hand side, goddess Shakti. She is greeny in her skin. It was shown like that, and she will never part away from his partner, and she is also having 2 hands, one pointing to down, left side, right side. I think it is holding a lotus. Sometimes it will be blessing style. So likewise, this Ammayapar Kolam, this form in most of the temples during temple festivals, this will be the posture, he will be coming through the city to give darshan to people in the city, only in the form of Ammayappar. So, Swami will appear the most exciting and also beautiful and also the common popular style. If you go through these Tirumurais, our verses, most of the time you may find that he will be described only in Ammayappar kolam. Veyuru Toli Pangan Vidamunda Kandan Miganalla Vinai Tadavi. The important thing Jnanasambandar mentions is the bluish tint that is seen on his throat. It will not be very visible here, but usually he will be having his throat in bluish color, which indicates that he swallowed. As a matter of fact, he gulped the poison that was taken, known as alahalam, that was emerging out of a small thing. It is shown, very small little thing it is shown. So that poison, that when the people were churning the milk ocean, it came out. So all the devas and asuras, they were running about for their life, and Lord Shiva only protected them by taking away the poison and gulped it through his throat. And it was stopped there. It didn't get down. It was stopped there, and that is why his throat appears to be bluish. So that shows his mercy. To make the souls live, he took the poison. Okay, so that was an indication of his mercy. And again, Appar also, Tirunakursa Peruman, Appar also had a darshan of Lord Shiva with the goddess Shakti. In Tirupuvanam, if I am correct, Tirupuvanam in Pandya kingdom, in Pandyan kingdom, when he was touring, he came to this temple, Tirupuvanam. There he made darshan of Lord Shiva with the goddess Shakti. He would be saying that Kadil ven kulaithodu kalandu thondrum. Kadil ven kulaithodu kalandu thondrum. Vadiyeru Tirisulam thondrum. Valar sadail ilam pirayum thondrum. He was describing the things that Lord Shiva was holding in his hands. Vadiyeru Tirisulam thondrum. Trisulam. So it is a weapon, Trisulam he was holding. Either he will be holding Trisulam or Maju. Trisulam with the 3 leaves. Icha Sakti, Kriya Sakti, Jnana Sakti. Icha Sakti, the power to create the desire. Jnana Sakti, the power of wisdom. Icha Sakti, Kriya Sakti, Jnana Sakti. Kriya Sakti, the power of action. So all these 3 things put together, he is holding Trisulam. He would be able to activate the souls with these 3 powers, energies. So it indicates to indicate this action, he is holding a Trisulam in his right hand. Vadiyeru Trisulam thondrum. வடிகேறு திரிசூலம் தோன்றும் தோன்றும் வளர் சடை மேல் இளமதியம் தோன்றும் தோன்றும். Ilamadi, because it is crescent, it's not full moon, it is a crescent. So on his pith, the Ilamadiyam, the crescent will appear. Kadiyeru kamal kondrai kanni tondrum. Kondrai, he was wearing the flower. Kadil when Kudai Todu Kalandu Tondu. This is very important. Kudai, as I already told you, Kudai, they usually gents will wear, and Todu ladies will wear. Here, Lord Shiva, when he was giving darshan, he was seeming to be wearing these two things. How can it happen? Unless otherwise he is in the form of Ammayapar. So in Ammai, Todu Tondrum, with the Lord Shiva, Todu Tondrum, Kudai Tondrum. Kudai Tondrum, Todu Tondrum, Kudayum Todum, Kalandu Tondrum, that is the Ammayapar Kolam. Idigeru Kaliturivai Porvai Tondrum, the blanket of the elephant skin. Yedil Tigarum Tirumudiyum Ilangit Tondrum. The crown can be seen. Podiyeru Tirumeni Polindu Tondu. He will be fully, he would have applied the holy ash over his full body. Tirumeni. His body is not like ours. It's Arul Tirumeni. Is it not? Podiyeru Tirumeni Polindu Tondrum Polil Tigarum Puvanathu Yam Punidanarke. Yam Punidanarke. That is how very nicely Appar Swami will say. And we can also see from Tiruvasakam. In Tiruvasakam, very nicely, our Manivasaka Peruman also, he would be explaining in Tirukotumbi, very nicely, this Ammayapar Kolam, this Ammayapar appearance, he would be explaining. Tolum Tuhilum Kudayum Surul Todum Pal Vellai Neerum Pasum Sandum Paingiliyum Sulamum Tokka Valayum Udai Tonmai Kolame Noki Kulindu Dai Kotumbi. He was summoning the bee, the king bee, Arasavandu, the king bee. He is saying, Tolum Tuhilum, Tol, skin, the skin of tiger, the skin of elephant. These are the garments or dress for Lord Shiva. Whereas Tuhil is the dress for Goddess Shakti. Kudayum Surul Todum. Kudai for Goddess Shakti. Todu, Surul Todu, that will be whitish. Surul Todu, that is for Lord Shiva. See, he is just comparing with Lord Shiva with his spouse. Tol, Lord Shiva. Tuhil, Goddess Shakti. Kudai, Goddess Shakti. Surul Todu, Lord Shiva. Pal Vellai Neerum, milky white ash. Milky white ash. For Lord Shiva, he has applied this holy ash over his body. Pal Vellai Neerum. How about Goddess Shakti? Pasum Chandum sandal. Pasum Chandum Paingiliyum. She was holding a parrot. But whereas Lord Shiva is holding Sulam. Tokka valayum udai. Goddess Shakti, she has been wearing the bangles. Valayum udai. You just see what has explained our Manivasakar. Tonmai kolami. Tonmai kolam. It is the very, very, very traditional appearance or the darshan, the form of Lord Shiva. It is the, as a matter of fact, it is the original form. Even we can call it as the first form of his appearance. Tonmai kolam, very, very old and ancient darshan, form. He is with his spouse. Ammayappar is the Tonmai kolame noki. He has mentioned that appearance as Tonmai kolam. Tonmai kolame noki kulindu udai kotumbi. See, we are suffering because of our deeds, because of our deeds. So all our sufferings are due to our past deeds. They are coming over to us. Most of them give us sufferings. Most of them give us sufferings only. If you only give some joy. But we are suffering, we are hot every time we are very hot. Hot means what? That we are suffering. We have a lot of types of sufferings. And we can explain some of them, we cannot explain some of them. We may have ill health, or we may have very bad relationship, or so many things to make us suffer. Our life is full of sorrows. We are always sad. How to come over? How to win over? The only thing is to have darshan of Tonmai kolam. That is why he says, Kulirndu. Kulirndu. You are hot with the sufferings. Get yourself cool. Have a darshan of Ammayappar kolam. Because think that always he is there to help you. He is there to be security for you. If you go and take under his shelter, then you are very safe. You cannot go and hide yourself from your deeds. Wherever you go, it will arrive before you arrive. Before you go, it will arrive there. So we cannot run away. You cannot run away from that. The only place where it cannot come and reach is the feet of Lord Shiva. Why don't you go take shelter under his feet? Tonmai kolame nokki kulindudai kotumbi. That is why the people are saying that this form, this Ammayappar form, is the very beautiful darshan. That is why in temples, people will fond of looking at him with his spouse. This type of darshan is explained as Ammayappar kolam. This is the traditional, ancient Tonmai kolam, ancient form of Lord Shiva. So today we just took the first form of Lord Shiva, that is the ancient and traditional form, that is Ammayappar, the Ammayappar form, and it takes away our all sorrows and sufferings, and we must have this darshan. This darshan is most popular in temples, in other places, and we must have this picture in our house, definitely. People will not ask any question for this picture. If you ask him to have a picture of a Lord Nataraja, he will ask, why shall we have like the picture like that in our house, sir? Shall we have? If you give him Shivalinga, he will definitely ask, sir, can we have picture of Shivalinga in our house? He will ask. If you give Picture Dinner, if you don't give him Picture Dinner, If you give him, he will definitely, he will not ask you, he will never have it in his house. Is it not? So, this is the only picture. You need not say, and he will not question you, and very happily he will get it from you, and he will hang it in his house. So, Ammayapar Kolam is the best form for worshipping, for prayer, for pujas, everything, and in temple also it is very popular. And with this, I am just concluding the first session of the Lord Shiva, the form of Lord Shiva, and we will just continue in our next sessions. There are a lot of things to be discussed about his other forms, lot of details to be known for about other forms, and we will go and discuss in detail. And I take the opportunity to thank our Qatar couple, Mrs. and Mr. Saravanan. They have only promoted these programs. They were the brain behind the serial, because I may be giving you the lectures, but somebody has to sponsor it, isn't it? Somebody should ask me, talk about this, sir, talk about that, sir. I cannot volunteer myself and go, I will talk about this, I will talk about that. People may ask, talk about this, sir, we are ready to hear this. Likewise, Qatar couple came to me and persuaded me, sir, please, you give lectures in English. In English, they are willing that the people who may not be well versed with the Tamil should also know about our Saivam. So, I am trying to explain in simple English without gorgeous words or bombarding words. Otherwise, people will be getting reluctant to listen to the lecture. So, I am picking up words, simple words. I am trying to put them in a very simple form as much as possible. So, kindly follow me in the next sessions also. We are going to see some very, very interesting features and details about Lord Shiva and his forms. So, I will continue in the next session. With that, I am concluding this session with the chanting of 5-lettered mantra 5 times. Please follow me. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.